Lima. Welcome to Lima, Peru. Welcome to the beautiful capital of this amazing country, Lima. And we are today visiting one of the 43 districts of Lima. We are in Miraflores district in the Malecón de la Reserva. Malecón is a promenade, is a street that goes along, could be a river or the ocean. So as you can see, I am right next to the ocean on the cliff above the beautiful barranco or cliff of the green coast of Lima. So we're going to talk about what is the green coast. We're going also to learn about the history, a little bit of the history of this zone in particular of Lima, of Miraflores. And we're going today to visit one of the most famous parks and also new parks of this district, a park dedicated to the Chinese immigration to Peru. So before we go to the history of this park and visiting this park, I would like to thank you all for coming today to my event, to this live tour that I am hosting. This is my second live tour here on YouTube. And it's really a pleasure to have you here. I am a former Heygo guide. Heygo was a platform that now is no longer existing, but since 2020 I was streaming live every single part of my city there. I have lots of recordings of my events done with Heygo here on YouTube, and I am starting to do these events here, the same type of events, like going out to see different parts of Lima, different places, different attractions, or sometimes cooking from my home, also Peruvian food, or talking about history here in YouTube Live. So if you would like to learn more about what I do or my upcoming events, please follow my YouTube channel. You can give me also a like to this video. That will help me a lot. If you can also support with a like, that would be super. And also, if you would like to support a little bit more this channel, you have a pin in the chat section of this event my PayPal and Patreon. If you wish to support, every amount, any amount helps. So thank you so much in advance for that. So, well, I think it is a good time to begin. Before I keep walking, I go to the park that we have to visit today. I would like to say hi to all the people coming. Hola, Elsie. Hola, Marilu. Hello, my dear. Thanks for coming. Thank you so much for visiting. Hola, Marilyn. Thanks for visiting, amiga. Hola, Violeta. Hola. Thanks for coming today. Please make yourself comfortable. Also, you can ask me as many questions as you wish here in the chat. Hola, Poppy. Because, well, that's really the magic of these live tours, is that I can also get your questions at the same time we are walking the attractions we are visiting together. So my name is Vanessa Vasquez. I am your Lima City tour guide. I am an official tour guide, a licensed tour guide in Lima, Peru, in my city and my country since 2006. I've been working for several years doing tours here in Lima in person, and in 2020 I started to do virtual tours. So it's been a fabulous adventure showing you Lima in this format. So and also one of the ways I have found that it helps a lot my city to get a little bit more promoted is through these events. So if you want to see all the past events that I've done, go later to my my YouTube. There you're going to see all my videos. So, well, I think it's a good time to begin this event, and, well, thanks to be there. Thank you so much for your company. So we're going to begin our walking to, first of all, the intention of today's tour is going to the park of the Chinese immigration. We have a park dedicated to the Chinese immigration not far away from here, and this park, by the way, is one of the newest additions to the Malecón of Miraflores, to this beautiful location that is right in the seafront, one of the most exclusive districts of Lima. We are on top of a cliff that is about 80 meters above sea level. That's about 240 feet above sea level, and we are not yet at sunset. We started the tour at 4:30 p.m. Lima, Peru time. So look how pretty at this time of the day the ocean, the landscape looks like. And on the other side, we have some of the most exclusive apartment buildings in this district. So these apartments are all looking to the ocean. Living in this zone of Lima, in this part of the city, is not cheaper than, if you want to buy 1 million US dollars. So you will hardly find something cheaper than that price here. And well, the zoning here is very important. People really pay a lot of money to get the best zoning, the best services, security, beautiful parks that are always green and pretty every day. And keep in mind that Lima lays on a desert. Lima City is the second biggest city in the world built on a desert. We have just 1 cubic centimeter of rain per year. So keeping parks, gardens like this green is very expensive, and also is an element that is related with the position and the wealth, of course, of the neighbors of the zone. These trees, by the way, are called Myoporum. The Myoporum is a variety of tree that coexists wonderfully with the high salinity of the air in locations very, very close to the ocean. Miraflores, by the way, the name of the district means look at the flowers. Miraflores comes from 2 words connected, united. Mira is look at or see, and flores is flowers, of course, right? So this location shows, of course, why the district is called like this. Until the 1990s, we used to have in the zone where the Malecon is located, lots of beautiful Tudor-style houses or European-style houses. Now we have instead these very, very tall, very high apartment buildings, as you can see. So not the cup of tea of everybody, to be honest. Some people really misses, especially the neighbors of this district, miss a lot the old style of this section. The concept of the old barrio, but not like the barrio, the hood. In Latin America we have the barrio of the elevated middle upper class. That's a different concept. And in the distance, we are starting to see the place we came to visit today. So maybe you remember about the name of the site that we're going to see today. In Spanish, the name of the park we're going to visit is Parque Chino de Miraflores, or Chinese Park of Miraflores. This is not the only park of this kind we have in Lima. We have in total 3 parks dedicated to the Chinese immigration to Peru, but this one is the newest one. Okay, so we're going to continue walking, and if you have any questions, please just share them here. I would like to know also about your interests. I see also a question. It just sort of like made appear the chat, activated the chat. And I see a question from Carol Sue. Hola, Carol Sue, thanks for coming. How hot is it today? It is not really so hot in comparison to the previous weeks when we were experiencing a very abnormal, elevated temperature. We might be in this moment about 25 degrees Celsius, so it's not bad at all. But it still is a little bit high, the temperature in comparison to what we should be experiencing in this moment, because we are in fall here, right? If you are in the North Hemisphere, in spring, we are in fall here. So in theory, we should be experiencing lower, more milder temperatures, and not the sunlight we are seeing in this moment, because Lima is characterized by a very, very dense humidity that it is very typical most of the year. So summer, it is a time when, everybody, sorry, that hot in Lima, because we have the Humboldt current. The temperature of the ocean is always around 14 degrees Celsius, about 56 Fahrenheit, more or less. But because it's sunny and it's hot, it is quite refreshing to be able, to submerge in the cold water in the summer days. But almost instantly after we have the beginning of the fall, we start having this very dense humidity that covers the view completely. And this is also one of the reasons why many people wonders why, you pay $1 million for living in a zone like this one. This is the average question, the people ask to the neighbors of this district, why you pay, this much money to live in a zone where most of the year you're going really not to see that much clarity, of the, in the ocean. It's going to be more like gray. Well, there are other reasons why people would like to live here. For example, security. Now, this is a very, very safe zone. It's a green zone, by the way. It's a very beautiful green zone. So is everything out of focus due to the connection, or is just my phone? Oh, Marilu, I think everything is okay, but I would like to know, dear group, dear friends, how do you receive the images? Is everything okay? In my end, everything looks good, the image, also the video. But I would like to know how you're feeling. Because if you can, give me a thumbs up if you are having any problems or any issues with the streaming. So I hope it is not something that, I cannot fix here. So we are getting very, very close to the park. A little fuzzy, or maybe it is because of the internet. We are in a zone where there are cliffs, so maybe it's because of the drop of signal in this location. But I will be moving in a moment, and I want to show you the park we're going to see. So we are about to see it, and it must be because of the internet. I hope we can also have a better internet reception in the other side. It's something that can happen, amigos. But we are not yet in the park, so I cross my fingers to give you a good view of the park of the Chinese influence in Peru. Park dedicated to the Chinese influence, the Chinese immigration to Peru. So, first view of the park, I want to give you this view from this location, because I think it would be like quite complete. And of course, very close to the ocean, a little bit more open, more wide view. So, okay, so this is the park. What do you think about the park? Amigos, amigas, I would like to know if you are able to see the park. If it's not fuzzy, not looks like a great place. Yes, it is, Marilu. It's a beautiful place to spend an afternoon, to see the sunset. So imagine the sunset from here, and especially from that, we call glorieta, that scenario that, sort of like elevated Chinese, sort of like a little house that you see in the middle of the park. And the view in sunset is fabulous. Great for a picnic, carousel, yes, for just coming here and enjoying an ice cream or a dessert in winter, a hot dessert in winter, and be able to observe the ocean. Image much clearer now. Oh, I'm so happy, Poppy. I'm so happy. These are things that unfortunately we don't have really much control. Sometimes it's the internet dropping in some sections, but I hope you can see the paraglider over there. Someone is parasailing here, right? So what a pretty view. We call it parapente in Spanish, this sport, right? So we're going out to the park, and I would like also to show you a bit more of the park from within. But before we go there, I would like to also tell you a little bit about the information related with what this park symbolizes. So this park was created during the pandemic. So it was not really that easy to create this park because there were a lot of problems, that the organization group had to face. Like, for example, itself the pandemic was complicated. Also, many neighbors were worried about what we call the paisajismo, which is the landscaping. The neighbors, they pay high taxes to live here, and they don't like, that things are changed from one day to another. So they were really surprised, not in the best way, when the City Hall of Miraflores came with the idea of a Chinese, park. Because they didn't want this to be an attraction that will bring too many people into a zone that they like it to be quiet, right? To be honest, at the end, actually, that happened. It became the success in social medias, this park, especially on Instagram. So this park is dedicated to the bicentennial of the independence of Peru. We celebrated the bicentennial, the 200 years of the declaration of Peru's independence on the year 2021, but we continue with these celebrations for some few more years. The declaration was in 1821, made by San Martin, Liberator San Martin, but we were not completely free from the Spanish influence in this Spanish control in this territory. So that finally happened on the year 1824 with Bolivar, Simon Bolivar. So we are commemorating with this park, of course, the bicentennial of the independence. It was inaugurated on the 25th of February of 2022. Look at the pretty bougainvilleas. By the way, these are bougainvilleas. And but also we are commemorating other important things here, other important moments. For example, one of those important moments is the immigration of the Chinese to Peru. It was commemorated 172 years of Chinese immigration to Peru in 2022. And also 50 years of diplomatic relations between Peru and China. So I think 3 very good reasons to create a park dedicated to the community, and one of the largest communities, immigration groups that we had in Peru. The Chinese immigration, and we're going to talk about the Chinese immigration, it is considered one of the most important and fundamental and determinant to know who Peruvians are, to understand who Peruvians are, because we are not just children of the Incas, we are not just children of the Spanish, we are not just children of Afro-descendants, we are also children of Chinese. And this is a fact, this is not just something I'm saying. We know, thanks to the last censuses that we had in the last decades, that in this moment about 10% of the population of Peru descends from Chinese immigrants. That has 10% of the people of Peru Chinese blood, right? So we're talking about 3 million people, approximately. 3 million people in Peru are what we call Tuzan. Tuzan is Chinese descendant. So this is definitely one of the most integrated cultures in Peru. And of course, we are getting into the park, so we have to give a look to these lions. Who knows the names of these lions? This is a very famous symbol that it usually is at the footstep, for example, of these beautiful Chinese gates that are all over the world. I'm going to show you the name, but first I would like to know if anyone knows about the names of these lions. Sometimes they are confused with dogs. I even have found in some books, some documents, the names as the dogs of, I will tell you the names, but we know they are lions. Okay, so let me show you the names of them. First of all, here some inscriptions in Chinese, and this, so far I know this is Cantonese Chinese, because Canton is the location from where most of the community came to Peru. And we are seeing here the leones de Fu, or Fu lions. And they are a symbol of prosperity. They are a symbol of, like good luck. They are here to protect. And usually they are as protectors, basically considered protectors. And we always have a male and a female. So for example, this one here is the male, right? And what we know, that identifies this one as a male, the male lion has a sort of like a circumference, a ball that represents the world, right? And the female one has a little, like a baby lion, let's say. A cup, I think you would call it. So this is the representation of a baby one, which in my opinion, it looks like upside down. But anyways, so this is the female and the other one is the male, right? So now we're going to continue. We're going to get inside. And here we have a little, we said, they. Hello. Hola, hola, amigos. Are you there? Hola, hola. Are you there, amigos? Just please give me a thumbs up if you are there. I didn't imagine it would be, complicated to stream here because it's an open site. Oh, Phil, hola, hola, Poppy, hello, hello. I hope you were able to hear the last part. I was saying that, we saw the Fu lions. I think you were able to see that part. Sorry if you were not able to hear my last couple of seconds. Oh, that's good. Thank you, Carol Sue. If there is any dropping in the internet, it is definitely because of me. It's not because of you. It might be because of the connection in the zone. So I'm going to go as further as I can with this tour, okay? We have to go inside the park now, but we'll see. We'll see how we do. So this is a leyenda, as we call it. So this is say information about, in this case, the influence of the Chinese in this country, los chinos en el Perú, Chinese men in Peru. And this year is very important because it's the year of the beginning of the immigration of Chinese into this country. The Chinese started to come in the time when workers were requested, especially in the coast of Peru, for plantations of cotton, of sugarcane. We were having a significant drop in the number of slaves back then, African slaves, because we still were a country that used slaves in the year 1849. But the drop was because the African slaves were not imported, like from Africa. Ships with African slaves did not come to this country since the year 1818. So meaning that for that time, for that decade of the 19th century, the number of slaves was aged also, African slaves, which were highly requested for manual works, for working in the plantation, instead of the ones that were called, like Ladinos, which were sort of like mestizo or mixed blood or born in the Americas. So that is why the landowners started to look or search for alternatives to replace these laborers, these slaves, and they needed people to come to work in this territory. Also something very important, and before I am able also to go to the next part, I would like to know if in this section you're having good internet, good connection. Hola, Sayuri, amiga. Hola, hola. Because we are going deeper and deeper. So good to know, by the way, I'm seeing some of the comments. Good to know that you're able to see me still. Hola, Sayuri, querida, ¿cómo estás? So, well, the immigration of the Chinese into Peru started like in that time frame in which we also started to construct railroads, because trains became very important alternative way of communication in the country, and we had money to build trains and railroads here because we had guano. Guano, the poop of the seabirds, right, an excellent fertilizer, started to be exploited in this country. So we had money, but we didn't have enough workers to exploit all of these resources of the country. So that's why the Chinese came in place. So also, another thing important, another fact, is that in the time when this Chinese immigration came, which was a very effective immigration, Peruvians were not really that interested in bringing Chinese workers. Instead, Peruvians wanted to bring Europeans. Of course, there was a big, sort of like a discrimination, back in that time towards any group that was not, like European, because there was a belief that Europeans would bring modernity, that would bring technology. So the focus of the government of Peru was to bring Europeans, and they did the very best they could to bring Europeans, but it didn't work. Like the biggest group of Europeans that came to Peru back in the 19th century was the Italian community, which we know in this moment that the maximum amount of immigrants we had in that time in the 19th century was about 50,000 Italians. But in the case of the Chinese immigration, it was double that number. About 100,000 Chinese came to Peru in the period between the year 1849 and the year 1872. So this is the reason why also it's important to commemorate the Chinese, because they were the ones who came to the call. They were the ones who came to work. The group of European immigrants was reduced, as I said before. So we're talking about, hello, I hope you're able to see the park. I'm going to move a little bit faster from here. We have Buddhas. We have Buddhas for abundancy. And we are going across this beautiful bridge that will take us into this sort of like pagoda. We say glorieta also. That's the name we give to this very pretty location where you can observe the most amazing sunsets for sure. I think, we have to come back here or close to here where the internet is strong for a sunset tour from this location. I hope you would like to do that, but we have to check the internet on that day. Look at behind. Oh, we have here another Buddha for the abundancy. People come and rub the belly of the Buddha for good luck. And we have also a fantastic view of the apartments in this section. So finally, just going back to the story of the neighbors here that were unhappy in the beginning about the park, and they said, well, this is not really, something would like so much attention over this place. Well, their fears really became true, because later when this park was inaugurated, it became the sensation in social medias. Everybody wanted to take a picture of themselves here in the park. All of these elements that you see, decorative elements, were imported from China. And the amount of money invested in the decoration of this park is, well, in my consideration, huge. These are beautiful dragons, as you can see. Everything was taken from China. And brought into this park by an organization of Chinese descendants. Also, we have very active groups of Tusan people, or Chinese Peruvians, very proud Tusans, who carry in themselves both cultures, both rich and ancestral cultures. So what they wanted to do with this park is also to honor, the arrival of their ancestors into this land. Look at these panda bears, so pretty. So they invested a huge amount of money. In total, we know that the cost of this park is about 350,000 US dollars. 350,000 US dollars is the total cost of investment for the park, including the decorations, including, like sort of like evening the park, which is, we are in a cliff, but it was necessary to do that also to make this park long lasting. So, and we are going here to see, look at how pretty this location. We have here this sort of like a balls decorating at nighttime in particular, lights that make this park look really pretty. This is one of the best locations also. Hola Lilian, hola, thanks for coming, amiga. This is one of those places where you can come at nighttime for sure and be able to have a nice romantic moment. Well, we are very romantic people, so we love places like this one at nighttime too. Let me also show you from up high, from the elevation of this location, the ocean. And look at here. Can you see the surfers, amigos, amigas? These are surfers in this cold, super cold water. Well, we have cold water because of the Humboldt current, and cold water is really a blessing for Peru because thanks to the cold water we have lots of plankton, which is the primary food of fish. It is the reason why Peru lives out of fishing. But also, well, one of the down parts of having this cold current is the fact that it's very, very cold, the water here. So surfers use wetsuits, of course, right? So, well, this park is really, really pretty, and as you can see, there has been invested a little fortune in creating it, but I think it is wonderful that we have parks honoring our different ancestries. Peru is a land of many influences. We are a melting pot. We are also children of the Japanese. We are children of the Polish. We are children of the French, of the Italians. We are Afro descendants as well. And we have elements in all our culture that come from all of these different corners of the world. So the only way to understand us better is to understand our ancestors. So you can see that beautiful dragon over there. It trapped my attention. So we are going now down for the last minutes together. Let me also show you this other view of the park. It's been really, really a pleasure to have you today, by the way, in my event. I know it's been a little, like it had its ups and downs in terms of connection, but remember that all my events, I post them here on YouTube. So you can revisit them, you can see the recordings, share the videos. That would be also super if you can help me sharing a video with a friend, like passing the information about my channel here in YouTube or with anyone. That would be super. Also, you can help me a lot with a like here in the video. If you have the chance of giving it a thumbs up, that would be super fantastic because it helps me also to position better the videos on YouTube. We're going in the direction of the dragon. I really like the dragon. And also, if you would like to support this channel, you can donate if you wish. Any amount is welcome on PayPal and also on Patreon. These are the only systems that function, that work for my country in this moment. And of course, that in my culture, you cannot receive a present and not give something in return. So always I give little presents to anyone that is able to support, and I get a contact when you send me donations. So sometimes I send, for example, recipes, Today I will be sending a PDF about the history of this park if you wish to know more about it. And also this could be a good starting for like your investigation about the history of the Chinese influence in Peru. Look at the dragon chino, Chinese dragon. And also all people who are supporting my events, they are welcome to join my upcoming events about Spanish. I am starting to teach Spanish for beginners here in Lima, virtually of course, so on Zoom. So everybody that is able to support is welcome to these classes. This Friday is going to be the very first one. I record those classes also for the people who want to, see them. Maybe they are not able to join because of the time, but also I record them for anyone that is supporting this channel, that is helping me to continue growing this channel to see later. So thank you so much. I hope you like my haircut. This is new haircut. I don't know if you approve it. I hope you like it. Right, look at this. Because it's so hot these days. It's really hot, so I couldn't stand the long hair. So, and once again, sorry for the internet drops for moments. Oh, this is a pretty picture. Please help me with a picture here because I cannot do a screenshot. And please send it later if you wish. So thank you so much for supporting this event in the ways you are able to do it, for sharing, for subscribing, for giving a thumbs up, for supporting maybe this event on PayPal or Patreon during the event or after the event if you're seeing a replay. Muchas gracias, amigos, amigas. If you have a question, this is a good time just to answer a couple of questions. If there's anything I was not able to see, maybe in the times we had the glitches with the internet. But if not, hope to see you tomorrow. I have another event and it's going to be at the most romantic district of Lima, Barranco. So it's going to be my pleasure to see you, and I have many more to come. Liturgy, oh yes, of course. Oh, that's going to be a super great event. I have one from home about the most sort of like bloody crimes of Peru, just to say in a way. So you are welcome to come to that one too. You can see also my upcoming events listed in my front page in YouTube. Violeta, gracias. Thanks for coming, my dear. Thank you, Marilu. Thank you, Elsie. Muchas gracias, Marilyn. Gracias, Lilian. Gracias. Lilian is our guide also in Brazil. So gracias, amiga. Thanks for being today here. I say our guide because we are a community of many guys that are now homeless because Heygo is gone. So, but we are still connected. And Sayuri is my beautiful friend from Brazil as well, from Salvador de Bahia. So please follow them, follow their channels. They are great. They are wonderful. So well, see you soon. Take care, amigos. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Hasta pronto. Gracias, amigos. Thank you. Bye-bye.